Morgan Stanley is the latest, seeking regulatory approval to launch ETFs tied to Bitcoin, and in this case, Solana. Just this morning, filed for an ETF, also to track Ethereum. Mackenzie Sagalis joins us now. I'm just trying to get and welcome, it's good to see him. Just trying to get a sort of an overview of what the thinking is for crypto, since it's now, January 7th, 2026. Bitcoin's still down 25%. But these type of things continue apace. There's already a lot of Bitcoin ETFs, not so many with some of these other tokens like Solana, Ethereum. You expect that to come this year?
I think that Morgan Stanley, being the first big U.S. bank to take this step to file to launch its own ETFs, is a huge endorsement. So we've started to see this comeback of institutional cash just in the first few trading days of the year. Finally, the surge in spot Bitcoin ETFs, which were net outflows for the last few months of 2025. And what this really signals is that Morgan Stanley, for one, has been the most progressive. They put out their 15,000 FAs pitching spot Bitcoin ETFs back in August 2024 when it was a much less popular trade. And now you're seeing BlackRock's IBIT accounting for the vast majority of the cash that's parked in those spot Bitcoin ETFs. And if I'm Morgan Stanley, I'm thinking, why not offer it myself? And they're also, through their brokerage, E-Trade, going to let customers directly trade and hold the assets themselves as well.
So they had their FAs, their retail stockbrokers, essentially, recommending Bitcoin, spot Bitcoin, to their clients.
A subset. So to clients at a net worth north of 1.5 million, they were specifically pitching BlackRock and Fidelity's funds back then. And they were first movers.
I don't know whether that's scary or good. I guess if you believe long term, I guess it's good. If you're a doubter, and there are plenty of doubters left, that's like mainstream, like Main Street almost, being urged to buy something very speculative.
Yeah, and I mean, like to your earlier point, it's not just Bitcoin and Ether anymore. They're getting into not just Morgan Stanley, but we're seeing a lot of these issuers go down the list of altcoins, including Solana, and XRP has actually been a pretty quiet winner.
Are these all correlated to, because I noticed on certain days, I think I've seen Bitcoin down a little with Solana. Usually they're correlated, but other times it seems, will they diverge at some point and trade on their own? Is that this year or next year or at some point?
You're right that we typically see cryptocurrencies move in tandem with Bitcoin, but what's so different about Solana in particular is that it has become this base chain for a lot of this real-world tokenization.
Ether isn't doing that?
It's just more expensive and it takes longer, but Solana moves more quickly, and that's why you're seeing tokenized equities and
right.
Tokenized money market funds.
So that'll be the place or both places? For doing things like that, will it be Ethereum or will it be Solana or both? Because I've asked people that. They say both.
It will be both, but you're seeing a lot of solutions built on top of Ethereum because the base chain itself it costs too much, the fees, to move this along. And another, the potential impetus for a divergence between the Bitcoin trade and the Solana trade is the fact that these ETFs that hold Solana and Ethereum can earn staking rewards. And that wasn't possible when these ETFs first launched. You couldn't earn interest if you held the coin in the context of an ETF wrapper. And that's why people were opting for, direct custody.
We have some work to do. Did you read the Mooch's book or something? He wrote a book about Solana.
I saw like when he came on and talked to you about this.
Will I be able to talk like you if I read his book?
You already do.
No, I don't. No, I know I can't talk like you because listening was hard enough.
One question in about, do you ultimately think, maybe a little bit like Cathie Wood, that if Solana has the success we're talking about and what you're describing happens, that it crowds out Bitcoin even more?
I think that we're already starting to see people diversify away from the Bitcoin trade. Like in the context of the gains that you can get, you see that skew to some of these altcoins, but yes, the utility is with these newer blockchains that can actually serve a use case for tokenized equities. And Robinhood, Vlad Tenev, he is a firm believer that that's where we're moving. And that's why this crypto market infrastructure bill, if that actually paves the way for tokenized equities, that's a game changer.
But could you end up using those coins instead of Bitcoin? Do you still need Bitcoin as this sort of digital gold or not? Or has that become this sort of legacy product?
I think that it holds its use case in the context of just this, as you said, this digital gold narrative. So I don't think that people diversify away from that in their portfolio. I think that they just add these other coins as they become, more useful and
Interesting.
Financial services.